If you ever wonder how people travel for free and how reward travel works, that you maybe seen online on TikTok, wherever, I'm gonna be going through this and explaining how people do it and showing a super simplified version of this so you can understand how this works and how people do it. Again, in a very simplified, super simple video, but you can take what you see in this video and get the point of it and understand how you can use it if you wanted to use it in a different situation, right? So I'm on the Delta website. I'm going to be doing, for example, X. For the sake of the video, just for simplification, we're gonna do X because a lot of people has a large population. We're gonna do to Hawaii in the middle of summer for one passenger, right? Just to do the broadest use case, something that people would want to do, right? So first thing is obviously going to be looking at the miles. We're going to get into the credit card later, but we're first just going to look at what is the price for something like this, right? So they have about 60,000 miles plus $12, which is almost nothing. Obviously, we have some variations. But like I said, I want this to be a super simplified version. We're not going to look too deep into the times and some of the nuance with that. Just in terms of showing you how you can get a flight from A to B with credit cards and reward travel, right? So let's choose this one. 59,000. There's main classic, there's main basic. Let's do even main classic with the added amenities. And then we can do this one. Again, there's a lot of different options, but we're just gonna see an example. So as you see, price for it is 77,400, and this is, again, as you saw, this is flying main classic on Delta, so it's not the cheapest option, but you know that is 77,000 miles. So now on the credit card side, how people do this. So what you would do theoretically, right, if you wanted to do this, you can get a credit card like this. This is a credit card. I have real good card, especially for churning points. This has a really good offer of well, I have the card already, so it's not showing it. But this card is actually, let me go back. Okay, so this is what I meant to show. This is the official offer on Delta's website. The current offer is as high as 80,000 miles after you spend 2K in the first 6 months. Now, the reason I really like this card for using the points and kind of use it on a free trip is that it has a high miles that it offers for a low amount of spend in a long time period. So 80,000 points for just 2K in 6 months. That is very good. And the cherry on top with this card is this right here. The annual fee is $0 for the first year and then $150 the next year. But you can obviously very easily downgrade this card after a year, so you effectively just pay nothing for that. So like opposed to other credit cards where you do the intro bone or the annual fee for the first year, even though it's nothing compared to the value you get first year, you have an outsized, that you get with the intro bonus. There's not even the case with this card. Doesn't even have an annual fee in the first year. So this is like a really good card for the use case that I'm talking about, of being able to use a card just for its intro bonus for a free flight. And like I said, so this is as high as 80,000, and that would cover the entire flight. So if you got this credit card and hit the intro, very easy to hit intro bonus, you could pay for the entire flight, AX to Honolulu and back, round trip, with 3,000 or almost 3K points to spare. Now, The obvious thing, discretion, is to understand that detractors will say it's important to note is that if you're not responsible with this credit card, then it's not gonna work out because you're gonna be money. Now, people who are responsible, like I said, this is a flat out outsized value that you get for doing what I'm talking about. You completely rob the bank, basically. That's what you effectively do if you do it responsibly. Because you get this credit card, like I said, you spend 2K, which if you see my other videos, you understand how to do that. Just pay rent, whatever we're gonna have regardless. Just 2,000 in half of a year, get a free flight to Hawaii, and you spend nothing. You literally spend $0 that you were not gonna spend, right, for a free trip. So again, that's the smart way to do it. That's how people like me do it, and a lot of other people. That's a smart way to do it. But viewer discretion should be advised that if you don't have experience with credit cards, if you don't think you're responsible with credit cards, people get into the issues that Dave Ramsey talks about, where you're gonna be debt and all this stuff if you start using this credit card like money that you don't actually have, as opposed to using it as a debit card, or not even using it at all, just using it for literally $2,000 and not using it again. Like I said, this is a super simplified video to show an example of how to do this, how people reward travel. This is precisely how people do reward travel. It really is this simple. If you've seen some of my other videos, I explain why banks allow it to be this simple. It is literally this simple. You obviously would not allow this if it was gonna make them lose money. They make money, way more money than they lose on people who are in debt. That's why this is as easy and as simple as it is. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a super simplified version for beginners and people who are new on reward travel and credit cards. This perfectly shows how people do it and how to do it. So if you enjoyed, let me know. See you guys in the next one.